like, can we get an address? They sent me some stuff. I was like, this shit's fire. So that's why you see most of my hats have this on it. I think people take these off. I don't know if they're weird taking it off, but they send me all these hats, and I really like them. I'm not gonna lie. All right, cool. Let's get to Hey, why didn't y'all tell me that in the song that we played by NBA YoungBoy, he actually responded to 6ix9ine? Wow, I didn't know this. Okay. Here's a response. You want to hear it? So NBA YoungBoy responds to 6ix9ine saying he doesn't own any of his music. Here we go.
The hottest rapper right now is NBA YoungBoy. They own all his music. Atlantic. If I'm lying, I'm flying. And he's right here.
That's another 70 tickets. Nigga, I don't fuck with y'all. Boy, I get my whole percentage. What the fuck you talking about? Nigga, I'm a gangster. I'm not finna do this shit with y'all.
The hottest rapper right now is NBA YoungBoy. They own all his music. Atlantic. If I'm lying, I'm flying. And he's right here.
That's another 70 tickets. Nigga, I don't fuck with y'all. Boy, I get my whole percentage. What the fuck you talking about?
This is definitely a 6ix9ine response. It's not a diss. It's just a response to him. And I actually forgot to mention, yeah, YB reached out to me after that stream. And YB was just like, yo, I love you, man. But yo, you can't let these motherfuckers play with my name when it comes to I own all my shit now. And that's been his thing. Obviously he's been through a plight when it comes to like Atlantic Records, but the record deal that he's in now and any record deal you'll see YoungBoy sign is a lot of ownership for him. He's not doing nothing that don't include ownership. And I think, when 6ix9ine went on his rant, he was almost kind of putting it across like YoungBoy is this guy that just doesn't own none of his shit. And I think the key thing, and YB hit me because me and YB have talked contracts. We've talked, deals and shit like that. The reason why YB is in the place where he's in his career is because he valued ownership over money. Like we've had the conversation where he told me, yo, I've turned down millions, but because I want to own my shit. So I see why he's responding, and I see why he's clearing it up. I'll say unequivocally on the record, especially YB's new deal, and by the way, allegedly might be expiring soon. So let's see who gets the bid on getting YB, because I think he's at the hottest he's ever been now. So the money got to even go even further up. The latest deal that he signed that's been in existence for the last couple of years, he owns his shit. That's a fact. He was very big on ownership. I know he's a crash out. He's a street nigga. He'll slap you up. He'll shoot at you. He'll do this. He'll do that. But that boy ain't that dumb. And he know that when he was signed to Atlantic Records, he dropped 22 projects and he was only contracted to do like 5 or 6. He dropped 22. So he knows how a label could try to take advantage of you and try to play in a way where their ownership or whatever the case is to try to get the better of a situation or own most of what they think people are going to stream. YoungBoy, after that situation, and I'm telling you this is a fact. I'm not telling you this because this is, and by the way, I probably should have said it then, but me and him, we had a conversation about it. But, a lot of times, sometimes we have a conversation. I think he often is like, you got to let the people know, like, tell them that. Yeah, he ain't trying to get online and clear everything up to y'all. So him mentioning the song, I was like, oh, shit, I forgot he did tell me that. Yeah. For all them records, especially since he's been at Capitol, he owned all this shit. That's a fact. He owned the shit. Obviously, we remember if you've been a YoungBoy fan for a while, you could probably remember some of the early Atlantic stuff where there's some turmoil. But let's be clear. He got the leverage he needed. He got out of the deal with Atlantic. And he'll never, ever be in a deal where he doesn't own the entirety of his music anymore. And the point is, he's owned all this shit. I think it's been like at least 3 or 4 years now. He's owned all this shit. So, that's something where, you would never know. There's no labels putting out fucking PSAs on what contractually it is. But the reason why YoungBoy is in probably one of the best positions now is that he walked away from millions of dollars and he picked ownership. That's a fact. You know, he walked away from millions of dollars to pick ownership. Why? Because he knew that not only does he bank on himself, and Future does this too, to say my best work is ahead of me. He uses the leverage of where he's at to say, you're not going to give me, because the labels will come to you and be like, hey, here's $5 more million. Don't worry about the ownership. Take $5 million up front. You know what you can buy with $5 million? Oh, 5 doesn't work? We'll give you 8. Take $8 million. Come on. You could go balling with that. Go buy some shit. More jewelry, more this. YoungBoy's kind of infinitely rich right now. You know what I mean? YoungBoy was having a conversation with labels that many artists, and I think few artists could ever say they're having. When YoungBoy went to the negotiation table with Atlantic, it was not about what you could pay him. It was about ownership. And not only ownership of his future work, because he was going to own that, because he wouldn't do a deal if he was going to own that. It was more about, if I'm going to do a deal with y'all, my past work, y'all got to give it to me. It's not about what you could pay him. Now, record labels, that's not their business model. Their business model is, we'll give you $50 million, but we own it in perpetuity. That means forever. And we'll wait and we'll continue to pimp you and pimp you and pimp you. And that $50 million we gave you, we're going to go make $180 million over the span of 10 years. So 100%, I definitely want to say YoungBoy wants to, and I will, I'm assisting in helping correcting that narrative, or if that's even a narrative. YoungBoy owns all this shit now, and he has for years. He would never do a deal if he didn't own all this shit. And the point is this. He's been offered multiple times millions as opposed to quote unquote IP ownership. And he's so rich at this point, he doesn't care about the millions. He cares about the ownership. You know why? That boy got 14 or I don't know how many kids. Let me not misquote him or misquote what he got going on. But you see all them kids, and again, he didn't tell me this, but when you own your shit, and you got 14, 15 kids, you know what's going to feed them later on? The fact that you own your shit. Not the money they give you now while they own your shit and you spend it in a year or two, and then your kids later on is like, yeah, my dad was popping and yeah, people loved him, but there's nothing for us. So him owning his shit now for all these projects, all these songs, means a lot. So salute to YoungBoy. Let me actually go play that song. It's Never Broke in LLC. How does that miss me? Never broke. Here we go. Did they ingest it yet? Oh, they still didn't ingest it. We could play it.
That's how my niggas roll. Hold on, bomb it low. Drums in my pole. Pussy nigga, you gon' ready for the blow. Big top, that's another 70 tickets. Nigga, I don't fuck with y'all. Boy, I get my whole percentage. What the fuck you talking about?
Yeah, he said, nigga, I give my whole percentage. What the fuck you talking about?
Nigga, I don't fuck with y'all. Boy, I get my whole percentage. What the fuck you talking about? Nigga, I'm a gangster. I'm not finna do this shit with y'all. 50 in my glisten in my...
Wait, can we go back to that 6ix9ine clip? Here we go. This is
Boy, they own all his music. The hottest rapper right now is NBA YoungBoy. They own all his music. Atlantic. If I'm lying, I'm flying. These people...
He's not on Atlantic, by the way.
Will sign you. You have to play the puppet role, right? And this is why I'm so canceled, because they hate when I say this. Go, you sign your life away, right? You make most of your money with your advance, but once
By the way, 6ix9ine is not lying as well. Because, again, and the only thing, and this is why, like, I'm, y'all might be like, Ike, you're kind of playing the 50 here because I know you fuck with 6ix9ine and you fuck with YB. 6ix9ine's not lying, but YB is different because YB has dropped so many songs and records that he's evaded the system that's meant to trap you. When a label gives you a 5-album, 5-year deal, the idea is to perpetually keep you in debt and perpetually keep you being owed to the major label system. YoungBoy takes a deal, and if the deal says he has to provide 3 albums and 3 albums in 3 years, y'all know how YoungBoy get down. He gonna give y'all 19 projects in 3 years. We all know this. So what happens then? Well, he almost takes back the leverage because his fan base doesn't punish him for dropping too much. They love him for dropping too much. Most artists, if they dropped at the frequency YoungBoy dropped, they would dilute their brand. Their shit would go down, not YoungBoy. By the way, live on Lake Street, thank you for the 10. He says, much love, Act, for rocking my hoodie. Shout out from Minnesota. Yo, shout out to Southside Chief, man. I love everything. He's been a supporter of mine for so long.